I understand, but you perhaps do not understand us. Forgive me. You see, for you and your actors, the thing is only, and rightly so, a kind of game.
A game? We're not children here, if you please. We're serious actors.
Oh, I don't deny it. As I said, this game, or play, of your art, which has to give, as the gentleman says, a perfect illusion of reality.
Precisely.
Now, if you consider the fact that we have no other reality outside of this illusion,
what does that supposed to mean?
as I say, ma'am, that which is a game of art for you and your actors is our sole reality. But not just for us. You know, by the way, just you think it over well. Can you tell me who you are?
What? Who am I? I am myself.
And if I were to tell you that wasn't true, because you
I should say you were mad.
Oh yes, you're quite right to laugh. And you can therefore object that it's only for a joke that gentleman there, who is naturally himself, has to be me, whom on the contrary, myself, this thing you see here. You see, I've caught you in a trap.
But we've had all this over before. Do you want to begin again?
No, that wasn't my meaning. In fact, I should like to ask you to abandon this game of art which you are accustomed to play here with your actors, and ask you seriously, once again, who are you?
If this fellow here hasn't got a nerve, a man who calls himself a character comes and asks me who I am.
A character, ma'am, may always ask a man who he is, because a character is really alive, marked with his own special characteristics, for which reason he is always somebody. But a man, I'm not speaking of you now, may very well be nobody.
But you are asking these questions of me, the boss, the manager. Do you understand?
But only in order to know of you. As you are now, all this present reality of yours, sees yourself as you once were, with all the illusions that were yours then, and all the things inside and outside of yourself as they seem to you, as once they were then indeed for you. Well, ma'am, if you think of all the things that mean nothing to you now, of all the illusions that don't even seem to exist anymore, don't you feel that, well, I won't say these words, but the very earth is sinking away from you when you reflect that all this present reality of yours is fated to seem a mere illusion to you tomorrow?
Well. And where does all this take us anyway?
Nowhere. It is merely to show you that if we have no reality outside of the illusion, you too must not count over much on your reality, since, like that of yesterday, it may prove an illusion to you tomorrow.
Ah, excellent. And then do we say next that you, with this comedy of yours that you brought here to act, are truer and more real than I am?
But of course, without a doubt.
Oh, really?
If your reality changes one day to another.
But everyone knows it can change. It is always changing the same as anyone else's.
No, ma'am, not ours. Look here, that is the very difference. Our reality doesn't change. It can't change. It can't be other than what it is, because it is already fixed forever. Ours is an immutable reality, which should make you shudder when you approach us if you are really conscious of the fact that your reality is a mere transitory, fleeting illusion that can change according to your will, according to the conditions, according to your sentiment, which are in turn controlled by an intellect that shows them to you today in one manner, and tomorrow, who knows how? All the situations in this fatuous comedy of life that doesn't end, nor can ever end, because if tomorrow were to end, all would be finished.
For heaven's sake, will you at least finish with this philosophizing and let us try and shape this comedy which you yourself have brought me here? You know, you seem to be almost. By the way, I believe you introduced yourself to me as what shall we say, a character created by an author who did not afterwards care to make a drama of his own creations.
It is the simple truth, ma'am.
Nonsense! Cut that out, if you please. None of us believes it, because it is not a thing, as you must realize yourself which one can believe seriously. If you want to know, it seems to me you're trying to imitate the manner of a certain author, whom I heartily detest, I warn you, although I have unfortunately bound myself to put on one of his works. In fact, I was just starting to rehearse it when you arrived. And this is what we gained, out of the frying pan and into the fire.
I don't know to what author you may be alluding, but believe me, I feel what I think. And I may only be philosophizing only for those who do not think what they feel, because they blind themselves with their own sentiment. To many, this self-blinding seems much more human, but the contrary is really true. For man never reasons so much and becomes so introspective as when he suffers, since he is anxious to get at the cause of his sufferings, to learn who has produced them, and whether it is just or unjust that he should have to bear them. On the other hand, when man is happy, he takes his happiness as it comes, and doesn't analyze it, just as if happiness were his right. The animals suffer without reasoning about their sufferings, but take the case of a man who suffers and yet begins to reason about it. Oh no, it can't be allowed. But yet, he's human.
Look here. You're off again philosophizing worse than ever.
I'm not philosophizing. I'm crying aloud the reason of my sufferings.
I should like to know if anyone has ever heard of a character who gets right out of his part and perorates and speechifizes to you. Have you ever heard of a case? I haven't.
You have never met such a case, ma'am, because authors, as a rule, hide the labor of their creations. When a character is truly alive before their author, the latter does nothing but follow them in their words and their actions, in the situations they suggest to him. He has to will them the way they will themselves, for there's trouble if he doesn't. When a character is born, he acquires at once such an independence, even of his own author, that he can be imagined by everybody in any situation that the author never dreamed of placing him in. And so he acquires at once such a character that the author never even dreamed of giving him.
Yes, I know this.
What is there then to marvel at in us? Imagine such a misfortune for the characters as I have described to you, to be born of an author's fantasy, and then be denied life by him. And then, answer me, if these characters left alive, and yet without life, weren't right in doing what they did do, and are doing now, after they have tried everything in their power to persuade him to give them their stage life. We've all tried it in turn.